What is up, guys? Thank y'all so much for joining me. So I have the Tesla Model 3. So if you've been with my channel, you know that I have already reviewed this car. So why am I reviewing it again? Well, the first time I reviewed it, I had it for an entire hour and a half. This time I have it for about 3 to 4 days. So I really had a chance to live with this thing, get more in depth. And if you guys know me, I love going in depth with these cars. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything you guys have ever wanted to see from a living with perspective of the new Tesla Model 3. First of all, I want to thank Dave Ferrari Wilson, who is actually the owner of this Model 3. He lent it to me for a few days. If you guys live in the DFW area, check out his account on Turo. You can rent this exact car for as many days as you want. He also has one of the lowest prices on the Model 3. So if you want to rent it from him, you can check my description. His link is there, so you guys feel free to check that out. Give him a shout out, give him a big thank you for allowing me to review this car for you guys. Now, if you guys click the card up in the top right-hand corner, you can check out my previous review of the Tesla Model 3. I'm going to go over a little bit more details with the door handles and just the exterior of the car in that video. This video, it's basically the same car. The only difference is it's blue and it has the upgraded wheels, so it's still the long range with the premium package. But I will have to say the coolest thing about having the Tesla this time is the phone key. I still have the card key, which I'll go over again for you guys in just a moment, but this phone key is incredible. You can see your range on here. You can unlock and lock your vehicle, pop the front trunk, and if you click the controls menu, it'll take you into a lot more detailed stuff. So flashing your lights, honking your horn, starting your car, both trunks are available here. And you guys can see I just got a notification from Redline Reviews, pretty funny. But the coolest thing has to go to the summon feature. Now, the way it works is it'll communicate with your car. You hold forwards or backwards, and it will move your car forwards and backwards via your mobile phone. It's pretty impressive and definitely a cool party trick for sure. But backing it into your garage is definitely the only practical use I found for it, but it's still pretty cool. All right, so if you do lose your phone, the best way to get in is using this key card right here. So all you do is you walk up to the pillar up here, and you get it, and you set it right there, and it opens the car for you, and that's it. All right, so once the door is open, you can see it has a frameless design right here. Now your door is going to have some Alcantara lining the middle. You've got soft touch all right here. All of your window controls are going to be right here. Storage space, and then you have a speaker there and a Model 3 plaque right down here. It doesn't illuminate or anything, but you do have that. Seat controls are going to be off here to the side, and that's pretty much it, guys. Let's go ahead and hop in and check out the rest. All right, so here's a quick look at the inside. As you can see, it's not much. Very simple, and the car is already on. So starting with the steering wheel, as you guys can see, you've got a very small steering wheel. It's really chunky as well. It feels like BMW M-Car-like, and it feels Porsche-like in the sense of how small it is, and it feels really good in your hands. It's very satisfying to drive. You have this matte black here with this satin gray, your Tesla logo. This button will actually map itself according to what screen you're on. So right now, I can use it to adjust my volume up and down, but if I hit this steering wheel button, I can go up and down to adjust where my steering wheel is and all kinds of different things. It's pretty neat. You can also hit left and right to go previous, next, and different things like that. Blinkers over here. You hit the end of this stalk for your wiper, or you can just hit it to auto right down here. Now to put it into drive, I push all the way down. That will put me into drive. All the way up will be reverse with a super high resolution backup camera, and your mirrors will actually fold down so you can see the side of the car better. So if I throw it back in drive, you can see that there. Hold up for a few seconds to put it into neutral, and then the end right here is for park. One cool thing, if you look right here, I'm going to hold it, that will actually turn on my parking brake, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm going to go over this really quickly. There's a ton, so this will take up probably like 10 minutes if I just went over this. You have your locks up here. You have your Tesla logo here, which tells you all your info about the car, and it has your Easter eggs right in here. And if you guys look up all the videos about the Easter eggs, they'll tell you all kinds of cool things. So you have a thing here you can draw. You clear that out. You have this Atari thing where you can go through and play games. You can turn the map into Mars, all kinds of cool stuff. Now up here in the corner, you do have Wi-Fi. You have your home link right here. And then, of course, you can change the name of the driver, like set different driver profiles, which is pretty cool. You can open your front trunk, rear trunk, your charging port, and it even shows you who doesn't have their seatbelt on when you're driving off. You even have like your tire pressure, and then all kinds of cool different things. Your camera button, your charging button, so it shows you how much charge you have left. And then you can adjust your wipers right here. Hit that to turn it off. Your music sounds really good. It's very easy to use, really cool. You can click different radio stations and things like that, and you can equalize your settings. Everything sounds really good on this vehicle. I'm telling you, the sound system is really good. So everything you've heard about the sound system is definitely true. You can even hit this to browse the web, so if the internet was up and working, and if I had a better signal, I would be able to browse the web, which is pretty neat. Call, so this call thing is a cool little Easter egg. If I hold that, it'll say ahoy hoy, which is actually the way people would answer the phone like way back in the day, which was pretty cool. So when the phone first came out, that's how they would answer it. You have a calendar, your energy consumption, all that good stuff. Once again, back here, if I go to the driving controls, I can adjust my mirrors, or my steering wheel, my mirrors, turn on my fog lights, window locks, different lightings, locks, adjust my display, driving habits, so I can take my acceleration from chill, which is very smooth and linear. I mean, it's all smooth and linear, but it comes on not as aggressive. And then standard will give you that nice punch. Comfort, standard, and then sport steering. I always love to leave it in sport. It feels excellent. Regenerative braking. So if you're not used to the aggressive regenerative braking, you can put it on a low setting. And then your traction control, which is basically called slip start, allows the wheels to spin. Now creep is interesting. So if I put this into drive and I let off the brake, so I have the brake hold on. So if I tap the accelerator, it still isn't going to go anywhere. So my feet aren't even on anything, as you guys can see there. But if I hit the brake and hold it, that will turn on my brake hold. But anyways, creep will allow the car to creep forward. Normally, like if you were in a gas car, if you let off the accelerator and you're not on the brake, it will move forward just a bit. It will allow that to do that. You hit autopilot. You can even adjust your summon feature on your app. And summon is pretty cool. You can use it to get in and out of the garage. That's probably the best use I can think of for it, aside from being just a cool party trick to show your friends. It's cool either way though. Navigation, safety settings, service, glove box. So that will open your glove box right there. The coolest thing, at least in my opinion, is this. This is how you adjust your AC. And it's super accurate. It goes exactly where you think it would go, and it's really, really cool how it works. And the animation on here is super incredible just to behold and look at. You even have heated seats on every single seat, even the middle seat, which I have not seen on any other car. So I think that is pretty impressive. And then, of course, my front and rear defrost, my volume way down here. And then the map itself is just extremely responsive, if you guys can see this. It is so quick, it's crazy. And if I tap it, it can show me all the supercharging stations nearby, and then all the ones in like the country, basically. So I flip the map right side up. Look at all of these superchargers. It is crazy. So anyways, that's pretty much it for that. You have an area here to put your phone. If I lift this up, you can put in a USB right here, which is what this little guy is sticking up right there. Pretty deep storage space because you don't have a transmission here, so you have a lot deeper space. Now, if you don't click this in right, you have to be very gentle because it's a magnet. It will keep flipping up on you. Cup holders are fine. They don't get in the way. They're very out of the way, so there's no issue there. As you guys can see, cups fit just fine. Armrest is pretty wide, so if I rest my arm on it, it takes up about 60 to 70% of the room. So I will have to like sort of take a little bit of the corner of it. But you lift that up, you have a little bit of storage in here. Now the owner did leave some of his stuff in there. I didn't want to move it or anything like that. But you also have a 12 volt right in there as well. Coming up, you do have a auto dimming mirror, which is frameless as well. Looks really good. Hazards are up here. You do have LED lights in here. Of course you do. You can't tell from this. It actually looks yellow, but it's LED. Flip this down, you have this like Sephora light, which comes on super bright. for all you men that want to do your makeup and everything. I'm totally kidding, but women, you want to do your makeup. Anyone that wants to do their makeup can do their makeup. So I'm going to fold this down. And then, yeah, it's really cool. I really think it's a great car. So far, it's just, you know, if you like the minimalist thing, cool. If not, then this is definitely not your style. Especially since you just have this strip of wood, one big vent going right here, and then one big speaker right there, as well as speaker here, and then the same thing on this side. But that's pretty much it for the front seat. Let's go ahead, hop in the back seat, check out the room. Just found this out and I had to add it in the video, but there's a bar underneath the speed limit that turns green for regenerative braking and then black as you go into the acceleration. I thought it was really cool how just a simple line they integrated into that. Alright, so sitting in the back seat of the Tesla Model 3, first of all, getting in is a little bit of a having to duck your head kind of situation. So as you can see, it's like right where my forehead is, so it's pretty low. But sitting behind myself, I have both seats set to my driving position or passenger position. I'm 6 feet tall, so sitting behind a 6 foot tall person, I still have plenty of feet room. I have a really good amount of leg room. So if I were sitting like normal, I have about maybe 3.5 inches of knee room, which is really good for a compact. That's almost as good as what you get in like a Toyota Camry. But the seats are really comfortable. They're very plush. You sink in them very well. You have mat pockets behind each seat. Coolest part though, because it is electric and you don't have a tunnel, you can move to the middle seat, and then I actually have a little bit more leg room here than I do on the sides, which is usually never the case. So that's pretty cool that you have that. You also have 2 USB ports here and 2 vents right here for the passengers, which is nice. Folding down the armrest, you have 2 cup holders, very plush, very soft leather, because this all is synthetic, vegan leather, whatever you want to call it. My headroom is very good. So once again, 6 feet tall. If I sit up like I normally would, I have about maybe 2 fingers of room. That's probably about 1.5 inches of headroom. And I have pretty big hair too, on top of being 6 feet tall. So it's very good. You have this glass roof, which definitely helps with headroom. And yeah, it's a pretty comfortable place to be. You have a hook here if you ever have dry cleaning that you need to hang up. And then you just have an awesome view of the entire vehicle because you have that glass roof, and it's really, really cool. All right, so storage space in the Model 3. Of course, you have a front trunk because you don't have an engine, which is typical. So you lift this up, and you have a decent amount of space. I have games in here because we had a Christmas party, and now I have a ton of games in there. So it's pretty deep. I've got a lot of stuff in here. It's deep-ish. I take that back. It's actually pretty shallow, to be honest. Definitely a lot smaller than the X or the S, but you can still close it. No issues. Moving to the back trunk, you have a lot more storage space back here, of course. Now, since you don't have a gas tank back here, you do have storage space underneath the floor, and it's very, very deep. So the owner has a few of his things in there as well, but it's very, very deep right there. You have a pocket over here on the left side, if you guys can even see that. It's pretty dark, but you have stuff there. And then of course you can put stuff in here and fold the seats down. So as usual, I'm going to make my Sam's run, and I'm going to show you guys how all of my stuff from Sam's fits back here. All right, so I just made my Sam's trip. As you guys can see, I've got everything pretty full, kind of shifted around during the drive. Don't worry, I don't drink that much creamer. It's just for a Christmas party. Got some water, some hot dogs, got some bacon right there, some waters, and yeah, I've got it pretty full. What you guys can't see though is I have stuff underneath this big cavity right here. So if I can lift that up, you can sort of see there's some water and a ton of like ground beef in there. So I have a case of water in there just to give you guys an idea of how deep that is. And then I have some bread up here in the front because I didn't want it to get squished. But yeah, pretty usable storage space for sure. And I didn't even use the front trunk because that still has the games inside of it. Okay, so charging. Now charging is interesting. So for those of you that are wondering, you can plug it into just a normal 110 house plug. Now most people will upgrade to, let's say, the 250 volt plug, which is going to require this guy right here, if you guys can see that. So I don't have that plug, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to go with this. Now, this will charge your car extremely slow. As you guys will see later on, you can get a decent amount of range back, probably a day's worth of driving, depending on where you live, how far you commute, all that good stuff. But you have your normal charger right here. Just plug it in, leave it in the car, and then you have this little adapter. So if you go to a public charging station and you need to have something that'll fit in the Tesla, you can plug this in, and then it'll fit inside the Tesla, and you can charge there if you don't have access to a supercharger or a house plug or anything like that. So you do have this available, which is pretty neat. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it as far as like charging and adapters and stuff is concerned. All right, so let's throw out some specs for you guys. This is the long range, so it's going to have a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack. It's going to get roughly 310 miles of range on a full charge, and it makes 283 horsepower, but Tesla does not specify a torque number. However, if you've been on the internet, you have seen channels like Drag Times, which have done dynos of this vehicle and gotten exactly the horsepower number to the wheels and just mountains of torque. Insane. So that is one of the exciting things, of course, about electric cars is the instant torque and how powerful it is. But I'm excited to get it on the road, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we are at the supercharger, guys. So I've never done this before, so I'm going to do my best to try and not mess this up. So first thing I'm going to do is hit this just so I can unlock the vehicle. And from here, I'm going to open the charge port. There we go. So now, I guess I just pull this cord out. It's a very short cord, so it's not super long. So you guys can see there. And then I'm just going to plug it in right here. If I can get it to, there we go. There we go. Jeez. All right, so I believe that is it. All right, so let me see here. It says charging stopped. I'm not sure why it would stop. I finally got the plug to work. Now apparently this says vehicle charging only on this side, but on the other side, if you check the signs, it says like 30-minute general parking, which is super random. But yeah, so these all don't really work. Only these over here actually have power going to them, which is kind of random. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and see what everything says. So you can tell it's charging because it's blinking green. Cool little Easter egg. If you hit this 10 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, it'll blink this cool like rainbow color, which is kind of neat. But anyways, yeah, it's still charging. So the estimated time says, let me see, I currently have 26 miles, and it should show me how long it's going to take to charge. An hour, 13 hours, 9 hours, 6 hours. It's kind of mapping everything out. So let's see what it lands on. Looks like we're looking at close to an hour. So an hour and 10 minutes. It is exactly 8:30 right now. So I'm going to see how long this is going to take to actually charge. So I got my laptop, there's a coffee place down the road, and I'm gonna go check it out. But I'll get back with you guys once it's done.
They say into your early life, romance came, and it 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 came, and it
All right, so it is now 9:05. The car has been charging for about 35 minutes, and it says that I have about 30 minutes left. So it is taking a lot longer than I anticipated, but I'm just kind of hanging out here having some coffee. So once this is done, we'll take it for a drive to Dallas and see how it does there. All right, so it's 9:37 right now. It took about an hour to charge the car, about an hour and 7 minutes. Which is kind of long. It says that the supercharger will get to 80% in about 40 to 45 minutes. So it's definitely a lot longer than 45 minutes. But there's another Model 3 here, which is kind of cool. to take out. All right. Okay, so it looks like, let's see here, 275 miles. So I didn't get like a full charge. I just got the max daily basically. So that's about 275 miles. Let me see here. If I click on this, so check this out. It was $8.80 for me to get, I'd say about 260 miles. I was on about 11 to 13 miles when I pulled in. I was cutting it really close. So that's extremely good. $8, $9 basically. So if I would have spent the full 10, maybe $11 would have gotten me like a full 100% charge. That is pretty impressive. Okay, so now that we have almost a full charge, I should have a lot more power than I did when I was on like 11 miles until empty. So I'm cruising at about, let me see, 30 miles an hour right now. So if I just lay into it, oh, it's really quick. Man, I'm telling you, like, that instant torque, it seriously never gets old, ever. It's really addicting. It's crazy. Nuts. All right, so now that we have close to a full charge, I'm going to take it to Carrollton, Texas and back. So it's exactly 50 miles to get there, 50 miles to get back. So it should just take away 100 miles. So right now we're at 263. I've already driven just a bit, but you guys already saw what we were at whenever I had a full charge. So we're gonna see what it comes out to, and we're gonna have a little road trip. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna see if it'll take this super sharp turn. I have my hands on the wheel. This is super sketch. Oh my gosh, it's doing it though. Oh my gosh. This is a sharp turn, you guys. And it's actually taking it pretty well. Oh, that was sketch. That was so sketch. Whoa. All right, so one cool feature about Autopilot, when you're going speeds 70 or below, it tells you to put your hands or apply light force roughly every 30 seconds. But when you're going above 70, possibly like 75, it told us to apply force about every 15 seconds. So it essentially cuts that time in half, which makes sense because if you're going faster, you definitely want to be paying a lot more attention to the car. I just thought it was kind of a neat little feature. All right, guys, so we are back exactly where we started the trip. So back at the supercharging station, that way I can get exactly 50 miles there, 50 miles back. So I'm at 165 miles left after making the 50-mile trip there, 50-mile trip back. So that's about 110 miles considering that I started with 275. So, and that's pretty good considering the fact that there's a good portion of the drive where I was kind of punching it, you know, doing things like that. And so in terms of hard acceleration, that does work similar to a gas car. So if you floor it, it will take up a lot more range versus if you're just being very gentle with the accelerator. So not bad. All right, so as you guys can see, road trips are pretty good, but for the enthusiasts out there like myself, what is it really like to drive every day, and can you have fun in it after you get past the initial punch of acceleration? Is it still fun after the party trick has worn out, basically? First of all, I just want to say the party trick of the acceleration, instant acceleration, I guarantee you it never wears off. It's just as exciting every time. But I do have slip start enabled, which is like traction control, and I'm going to take it through this corner. So we're going to brake in. Woo! Oh wow, it pulls out super hard. Man, it is super grippy. Ooh, oh my gosh, yikes, that is quick. I'm telling you, if you love V8s, and I love V8s, This is the same like push in your gut kind of feeling. And this is the slowest Tesla that they make. That absolutely just, that boggles my mind. But let's do this one more time. All right, so you have your regen brake, which really kind of brakes for you, but oh, still gave me a little bit of slip right there, which is kind of cool. Woo! And it just powers out so hard. Interesting. It's very interesting, that's for sure. I mean, but man, that acceleration is just so good. I think the coolest part though is you don't realize how fast it accelerates until there's someone like right on your tail and you just floor it. I mean, the gap that it creates between you and that person is unreal. And I think seeing this car take off like in person, like if you're standing outside while this car takes off, it's crazy to, I guess, process how quickly that Tesla was going. So now I would say 0 to 60, but the 0 to 60 time on here isn't that impressive. What's really impressive is when you're going like, let's say 20 miles an hour, 20 to 25, and you just lay into it. Oh, it really pushes you back the entire time. And I have almost a full charge, so I have basically all of my power available just right then and there. It's amazing. Now, as far as visibility goes, so visibility is good. You've got this huge windshield. You've got great visibility to my left, good visibility to my right. If I look in the back, great visibility here. The only thing is that the trunk is kind of high, so if you guys can see that, it's kind of a high trunk, so it does inhibit your rear visibility just a hair. The other thing is the noise. So once again, used to hearing great engine noise, all that good stuff. But what I have found with most gas cars, especially like, let's say if I'm driving a BMW M3, you know what, let's say I'm driving a Bullet Mustang, which is one of the cars I reviewed, incredible car, 6-speed manual, beautiful sounding V8. Here's the tough part with that. I'm paying all this money for that car. It comes with an awesome Bang & Olufsen sound system, and I never get to listen to it. I mean, I'd have to choose basically, do I want to listen to the V8 or do I want to listen to my music? I love music, I love V8, so I always have to choose. With this, it's kind of cool because now I can listen to the music and just blast it because you have a fantastic sounding sound system, and then at the same time, I can still accelerate. I don't have to flip it into like a sport mode, so that is one thing as well. So let's say if I was driving a fast automatic like a BMW M3, I could be in comfort mode because I'm everyday driving, and then if I want to just give it some good gas and just really feel that push, I got to reach down somewhere, throw it into sport, or even on my buttons on the steering wheel, push it into M mode or whatever, and then everything has to switch over. And then once I'm done with my fun, with my acceleration, whatever, being a little bit loud, I got to switch it back. Once again, it's not like a Neanderthal thing to do. It's not like it takes away, it's not like it takes a lot of effort for me to push a button. But just the fact that you can just chill, cruise, and then at any given millisecond, I can just lay into this thing and I have instantaneous power. It is just something else, I'm telling you. For those of you that are enthusiasts like myself, that for whatever reason you just fear the electric cars just becoming more of the norm, I'm seriously here to tell you guys, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. Aside from the noise, man, this thing handles well. The acceleration is crazy. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. In 10 years from now, you know, competition is going to arise. There's going to be other cars competing against this Model 3, and competition always brings out the best products. It always brings out the best products. You know, we wouldn't have the awesome gasoline cars we have today if it weren't for competition, and hardcore competition at that. So just imagine what would happen with stuff like this. It's almost like driving indoor go-karts. I never leave an indoor go-kart race and think, man, I wish that was gasoline instead. I would have had a little bit more fun. Heck no, those electric go-karts are fast, man. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, if you're giving me something that's faster, I'm all for it. Definitely a very, very impressive car. That never gets old. Ever. All right. Alright, so I'm about to charge the car. I had 30 miles left until empty, so I was cutting it pretty close. Alright, so once the port is open, I just get this and plug it in here. And then it should turn green to indicate that it's charging. There we go, cool. So now I'm just gonna let this bad boy charge overnight and see where it is in the morning. Alright everyone, so it is the next morning. I'm gonna go ahead and hop inside the Tesla to see where we're at on the charging. Once again, this was the standard, just normal house outlet plug. And now I'm at 86 miles. So from 30 to 86, that's a 56 mile increase. So that's not bad. Usually about 56 miles, almost 60 miles. That's about what someone would drive in a day or so. So that's actually pretty decent. Well, that is going to be it for my review of the Tesla Model 3. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out, it helps the channel out, and it really does a lot more than you guys think. So be sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my uploads. I upload 1 to 2 times a week. So if you love cars, be sure to subscribe. But to give you my quick final thoughts on the Model 3, I think as of right now, if you were to buy an electric car, this is the best electric car that you can currently buy that is actually on sale. The charging infrastructure, the range, the power, all of it for the price is actually very good, even considering the fact that this vehicle as is costs a little bit over $50,000 before all of your tax stuff. Now, if you were to get your hands on a base model Model 3, if they actually end up coming out with it, that would honestly be one of the best bargains of the century in terms of electric cars. But it has so much to offer. The throttle response is incredibly crisp. It is better than a naturally aspirated V8. The technology in it is super fast. It's very responsive. And just the way it's connected with your phone and everything like that, it just makes it such a unique and memorable experience. Despite what you think about Tesla, I have to admit, this time with the Model 3 has been one of the most memorable vehicles I have ever driven. And because of that, I think that it would go up to the top 2 vehicles that I would ever consider buying. It is that good, I can assure you. And since my channel is small, I have nothing to lose. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all take care. See you next video.